We should be good now.
Channel. Okay. Live.
Yeah, OBS just completely it just randomly crashed completely, and then when I booted it up, for some reason it didn't save that I had signed into a different account, so I had to log in again. We love
That's right.
OBS. Actually, for some reason, OBS has been crashing on me recently on my home computer, and I don't know why. I might just need to reinstall it, but I don't know what's
I was
happened.
I was about to say I'm sure they don't tell you. It just
Yeah,
shits the bed.
yeah, it's not very common either, which is worse.
Yeah.
But sometimes it'll just randomly happen. But anyway, yeah. So we got to go to KC.
So Micah's got you a human that you guys are gonna go and pick up.
Yeah.
What possibly could be so big that you have to
I mean, do you want? I could
travel?
just tell you.
I
Or
want
I
to
kind of
know.
want to. I kind of want you to keep guessing too, though.
Okay. Give
It,
me
it's big enough that we have to put it in her car, and she could do it
okay.
alone, but that's an inconvenience.
Okay, is it technology based?
Uh, it's for technology, but it itself is dumb.
Okay. Is it a like a form of desk?
That's a good guess, but no.
Okay.
I got you. If you want to know, just tell me. You don't have
No,
to
no, no,
keep
no.
guessing.
No, now I'm invested. Okay, so it's a technology. Is it something that supports like streaming and
It helps me do that. Yes.
okay, so it's something that helps so it's something that helps streaming. It's not a desk. It's big enough that you need to travel with it. It's not okay. Monitor. Okay, is it oh, well, you said it's not technology. Fuck. All right, give me one more hint.
It's something that will specifically help me do tournaments.
Okay, so a TO type thing. Not
From
a
the
big
yeah.
okay. You said it's not technology. Fuck. And it's not a bunch of plugs. It's not a monitor. It's not a laptop. TO. Fuck, I
It's
feel like
kind
I'm
of it's a it makes sense when you know it. But I wouldn't have really thought about it.
all right, what is it?
So right now my loadout when I go to tournaments is I have the paratrooper outfit, one backpack on the front, one backpack on the back. So
Yeah.
basically she got me one of those. I don't know if you've seen them, but she got me one of those big almost suitcase organizer things that has wheels that stacks
Well,
vertically.
I literally, as you were saying that, I thought oh, what if it was one of those carts that you put all your shit in and pull? Fuck,
It's
I was
very
close.
similar to that, but it's just it's a small kind of luggage thing that's modular, so you can take off what you don't need. So I'm gonna organize all my streaming stuff. So I'll have one area of it for my Switch setup, and if I don't need to bring that, if I'm just streaming, then I'll only
Yeah,
bring the central part with my gear, my extra stuff cameras or mic if I'm using that is in another thing.
that's fucking
Um,
wrong. Speaking of TOing, when is your first tournament?
oh, I'm so glad you asked. It is January 22nd. It's gonna be hype actually.
Wednesday or Thursday?
It's on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, yeah.
I think
And
it's
then it said that everyone who's from Springfield gets free entry, right?
that's true always.
Yeah.
So
I
if
think
you
I'm
go every week, that's $15
Chris,
saved. I mean, it's only 10
yeah.
if you pre-register, but
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on going. I'm trying to get Springfield people to go. So far, I mean Springfield's just dead. It's like me and Crazy Crashed.
yeah, I think
Like
I was gonna suggest since it's me and you on the 7K again tonight. I think one of our
yeah.
big topics should just be the state of Springfield Smash. Because
Absolutely.
I feel like we haven't really
Absolutely.
discussed that very
Absolutely.
much. And
Absolutely.
I have a
Absolutely.
perspective from the
Absolutely.
outsider now But like I don't
Yeah,
really know. Like you were like, yeah, like I've been hanging out with Peyton. Like we go to lunch, but that's not like a Smash thing. So like
correct.
I don't know the intricacies happening. Like
Yeah, so let me regale you. So there was once a time where Springfield was beautiful and plentiful. It was ruled by a beautiful queen with long blonde hair that was kind and fair, and
well,
they would and they would seed the brackets and they would cut the VODs and do the streams and there was commentary and everything was bliss. But
you
holy shit, what was that?
what do you mean?
Well, there was like a flash at your place.
Oh, I just pulled something up. Like, oh, I see
Oh,
what you
gotcha,
mean.
gotcha.
I
Oh,
pulled up
gotcha.
Discord on the other monitor, and like when I opened it, it flashed white for some reason when I'm doing it. I don't know, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so once you left, there became a power vacuum between like Ursa. It was like Ursa, Oxane wanted to do a tournament, and Buddha Bam wanted to do a tournament. Because we didn't really know who was gonna do what. So like Ursa was happening, which like that was run by like Asita and like Flightless Nevermore. And then Buddha Bam struck up a deal with Cricket Esports that doesn't exist anymore. And then as that was happening, Oxane was also wanting to do a tournament that was like Wednesdays, I think, and like really far away. So since there were all of these things kind of happening at once, it became difficult for people to know like which one they should go to. Pretty much no one was going to Oxane's because it was like 20 minutes away and on a Wednesday.
right.
Um, and so that kind of fell off and it just became like Buddha and Ursa, but there were not enough people going to Buddha's, which was on Monday, and people just kind of wanting to just go to Ursa. And then um and to top it all off, we don't have a consistent PR committee, which I think like a lot of people try to pretend that doesn't matter, but
I think
it
it
like
matters more than people let on,
yeah.
or even realized, maybe.
Yeah, because it's like I think Chewy said something where it's like without a PR, you're just like beating your buddy and ruining their night, and you could do that like at any time. Like you want it to
Yeah.
meet, you want it to have points, you want it to matter. So we didn't have a PR, and a lot of people didn't say that they didn't care or whatever. But I think attendance suffered because we didn't have a PR. There was a time where like we just didn't do a season. It was from like not this previous season, but the one before that. We just didn't have a PR. Like it just didn't happen. So once that happened, it became like, all right, well, if a PR is not guaranteed, what's the point? Like we can just all practice, and that's kind of where we are now. I think. Do we have a consistent PR committee now? I think there was like a new one that
So
was,
basically,
but I don't know if that's real.
this was mainly Micah's doing, but I'm gonna take some credit, which was
Which is crazy.
she just added like three people to a group chat and was like, "You're the new PR committee," and then left.
Fucking thank
And that's
you.
literally what happened.
And it's what? It's
Luckily,
like Dud,
it
Crazy. No, not sorry, Dud, and who else?
it's Dud, Buddha Bam, and Spencer. I think. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. It is Spence. It
Um,
is Spence. Yeah.
and honestly, like, I'm here for it. I'm here
Me
for it.
too. Me too. 100%.
I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
funny that they just. Well, also shout out to Dud for
Always shout out to Dud.
um, shout out. I mean for everything because he's just the go. But specifically here, shout out to Dud for uploading all the tournaments to the bracket like I used to. So you
Yeah.
could actually have like the numbers to look at to make a PR and stuff. Because I think the PR, like you said, definitely is important. I think as long as you have like a decent number of people, like I think you should always try and do a ranking for the reasons you mentioned. And also like maybe in the future if it's still really rough, like you could lower it to like 8 people or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's it doesn't really matter in the end, but that's just something. So shout out to Dud for that. Um, and so what happened with like you said there was like a power vacuum between like was it
Yeah.
like Buddha
Yeah.
Bash, Ursa,
Yeah,
and
And then Oxane, and the issue was that like no one was really communicating with Oxane. Well, no, sorry, Oxane wasn't really communicating with anybody else. He kind of just like kept it hidden and then dropped it. And it was, I believe, on a Wednesday, and like everybody works. And so nobody had taken off on Wednesdays. Like everybody takes off like Mondays and Thursdays.
Right.
And I felt bad for him because it was like, obviously we want to support, but it's like 30 minutes away. Well, no, it wasn't 30. It was like 15, 20. And there's no one that is like, there is no one as, like Asita's doing a good job. Like everybody who steps in is doing good, but you were just a very like centering presence that we could all just kind of rally behind.
Right.
And with your being gone and us not definitively like selecting someone to take on the mantle, it became just kind of
Yeah.
and whatever. And then on top of that, like not everybody felt there were some people that maybe wanted to step up, but there were humans who were not maybe the nicest to them when they tried to step up. And so they were like, all right, well, I don't want to be involved because everybody, that's the other thing that I don't think people realized. And I realized even when I first joined here, you fucking spoiled motherfuckers. We had tournaments with a tournament, a redemption bracket. No, motherfucker, I want you guys to fucking listen. We had a fucking tournament, a redemption bracket. Not only did we have the VODs every single tournament, but we had it. So what is someone that says the guy's a seat again, even to character? That's funny. Not only that, but you cut the fucking VODs individually.
That
We
was
had
definitely a little
individually.
extra.
I was like, God damn. So it was like, and like we had the stream, we had commentary set up so anybody can like go and like jump on the mic and stuff. So I think because we were so spoiled, and I remember saying it before you left, like, hey guys, like Seven's the fucking goat and like has really done a lot of great shit. But that's like you can't expect that from anybody because like other people need to learn how to like get to that point. Like Seven is an exception in terms of how good he is, you know? And so a lot of people just wanted things to go exactly how they were. And it was like, well, that it was happening because Seven was really on his shit. We don't have a Seven anymore. So like we're gonna have to accept kind of like what it is that we have and kind of build. I wish there was more support for my criticism for Springfield would be like I really wish there was more support and rallying behind the people who were trying things and the people who did step up because being a TO is not an easy job. So it's like and I think everybody's getting really supportive about that now. Like when Spencer went and did his tournament, like everybody really rallied behind that. It just kind of took a long time for us to get to that point where we're like rallying behind somebody and now it's just like me and Crazy Crash and like Spencer,
Yeah,
like
I think also
going to
it
shit.
hasn't helped that Ursa is only a semester thing, and even
Yeah,
then, like it's like not even for that like the whole semester. Like there was only like 10 or something last time,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
because I mean that venue and stuff is pretty good. Like it's a good place to host a tournament, obviously, but just right
yeah.
now, like the fact that there's gonna be so long without tournaments, especially like come the summer. Like I don't know if like someone's gonna do like an end of Springfield again, which because I know Spencer already decided he didn't want to do that again, which is that's valid. I'm not hating on that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I don't know. Like I'm scared. Like if there's a break, like I mean, obviously the scene is permanently damaged. Like, well, I don't want to say I don't necessarily want to say permanently, but it's taken a large hit in attendance over the past like 3 months. That
Yeah,
well, more than that, like 4 months now, 4-ish months.
yeah,
That like it's it's gonna be hard, especially because Ultimate is in the state it is. Like it's been six
yeah.
years. There's no news. Maybe we can talk about the future of Smash later in
Smash
the
Ultimate,
episode.
yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, so I think Ursa being semesterly does kind of hurt, and I don't know if Asita particularly even wants to be like that TO guy.
No,
Um,
I'm sure he just stepped up because like we
Someone in the
needed somebody to
club
do the
like had to
thing.
do it. Well, I know Slightly Psycho and Mage also wanted to do that and help. So shout out to them as well. I'm not sure
Yep, yep,
the
yep.
diplomacy there of what actually happened, but shout out to them as well.
JCMO smashes. All I'm saying is there big
Oh
stuff in the
my
near future.
god, bro.
Is it are you gonna come down to Springfield and run our shit, please? Is that the
Okay,
big thing?
this is top. I guess this is top secret info, but it might not be after I say this. But right now, it doesn't look like there is going to be an LGS this year. Um,
Oh,
which is sad. And the
yeah.
wouldn't be dead if this happens. It would just return later,
Okay, great.
probably. Like this isn't like there's no more ever, but um, there's just some slight. Well, one of the main things is that jury wants more money because they're like, oh, like this hasn't recruited anyone for us, which I mean, that's like low key true. Like, but
Yeah.
also like they still get exposure, and it's not like they've been trying to recruit anyone at the tournaments. Like they don't have a booth, they don't have anyone explaining why they should go
Yeah.
to jury. And
I didn't
actually,
know that was part of it.
we did have a smasher who went to jury, which was electrical. He doesn't play anymore, but he played like early post COVID in Springfield. Lived in Lake of the Ozarks, and he just graduated from jury like this last semester. So like Smash did give them at least one student, which realistically is like thousands of dollars for them, like tens of thousands because it's like a private school too. So anyway, the gist of it is they want more money, which isn't inherently bad, but like we definitely like LGS being like a little cheaper. Like ult singles was like
100%.
$25, I think, if you got
Yeah.
early or normal reg, which like for that venue is obviously kind of insane just cuz like you could put like an entire major in that venue easily.
Yeah.
Um so we have been thinking about other venues, but there's not that much in Springfield for that kind of
Spring
stuff.
Springfield is deeply does like not have a lot of
And
shit. And it
yeah, and like it has like a convention center, but that's like insanely expensive. Same with like the hotel room like convention areas, like 200 an hour and stuff like that, and it's like, bro, like
what
this
about
would be
where
way
they
more
ran
expensive.
where you guys ran the miles monthly, that's not enough space for
Yeah, and that's also
um
MSU, which has its own diplomacy
yeah.
things. Um,
Yeah.
but Sunshine Lanes, I mean, is obviously always going to be the goated venue just because it's a big empty room with
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. So like
Yeah.
but also like I don't know, like you can't just do every tournament in Sunshine Lanes. Like
Correct.
LGS is all about the
No, we
presentation.
no.
Like LGS is
Yeah, we do
supposed to be
not.
like we have all these like we had like over 100 non-smash entrants. Like LGS is a really big fighting game tournament, which is
Yeah.
like what we want it to be is like kind of like a combo breaker esque like Frosty tournament where it's like you can play a lot more than Smash there and like there's still quality. Um, but uh, yeah, and it might still happen. We haven't made the final call yet, but me and Biscuit and Micah are considering it, and really it's Biscuit also has a kid and stuff, and it might not be a great
Oh,
time for him. And we would then if we can increase how much it costs to attend, which wouldn't really be that bad, but
yeah.
also like we'd be making less and charging people more. And when our main event is Smash Ultimate, which is like getting less entrance sometimes in this area, I don't know. Like it might just not be worth it. Like
No, yeah, I think that's fair, and I think it's really smart of you guys to not want to tarnish the legacy of the tournament by like trying to make it work on like Sunshine Lanes or some shit. Like, if you guys can't find the venue, like, we you can't find the venue, and then when you find the venue, like, run it
yeah,
up
and
because
it
like
would be fine.
you don't
Like
want
if we found
what you're
another
saying.
venue that was like a good one, like nice, like a hotel one or something that was reasonably
Yeah,
priced, like that would be chill. But Sunshine Lane's basement, it doesn't have the esteem, you know. It's more of a fighting ghost venue,
yeah, for
which is
sure. It's a
good in its
fucking
own
basement.
way. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
for
I said,
sure.
LGS is
No,
about like it's got to bring that esports
oomph.
factor, you know. Like damn, like this tournament is like sick, like versus like more of the grassroots like fighting ghost vibe where it's like, yeah, we're playing in a basement with the lights off, which that's
Yeah,
just the
no,
marketing,
100%.
but like it is what it is, you know.
No, 100%. Oh, well, that's a bummer, but it's good that you guys like it's not giving up. It's just like
Yeah, and I mean,
trying to figure
obviously,
out
part of
where.
that is that the Springfield entrance for tournaments has been really low.
Yeah,
Which
it's
I
just
know,
hard to get any.
like,
But
we do have
what you saying?
people. We have a lot of smashers in Springfield who play other games now, like Ash or Chewy and stuff, and they would still go
Yeah,
for the other games. So we are considering that. It's not a huge factor. We think, like, the local turnout would still be all right, but, yeah.
I'm I'm hoping that with. Nah, dude, I just I was just trying to be realistic. I was like, I'm hoping with like the like hopefully us having a consistent PR that it'll get people inspired to like play again. But like realistically, I mean, we'll be able to see what things are like because school starts this week. But like once Ursa starts back up again, like it'll be interesting to see who like what Springfield looks like when we have a consistent place to do tournaments and shit like that. Because I've been traveling to fucking like Casey and Rolla just to like go to a local,
Yeah.
which is fucking bonkers. But like those are the places that have it. I gotta make my way up to STL. I still haven't gone to STL yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's just slightly farther than those places, so it's a little less convenient, but you definitely should next time. You know, like I know a tournament coming up on the 22nd. Not
Nah,
to
I'll be
not to
there.
bring the basic out, but you know, start.gg/phase. Anyway,
What
um,
came up? Oh, how'd you come up with the name?
uh, well, at its core, it's a Metroid reference because basically, if you've played Prime, like Metroid Prime, there's like a planet called Phase, but it's spelled with two A's. But
Yeah.
I think that's a little ugly. But
Yes.
that's where like all the stuff called Phazon comes from, and that's like the stuff that made like
Oh,
Dark Samus and
the
whatnot.
lace. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's like the blue corruption energy thing. That's like the antagonist of Metroid Prime. But
I completely forget that Samus is like a character in a game and not just a character in Smash. Like Metroid's
yeah.
like a whole fucking series.
And I kind of like the like little bit of like sci-fi edginess of like Dark Samus
Yeah.
and Phase, and also it fits well because phase is like a tournament term because like you have different phases in the bracket and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like I could easily just use that for the marketing. So like it has basically the same thing as Contender where there's like round robin pools. If you lose, you know, you go into like a redemption bracket, or like if you don't make it out, or you move on to the top cut or whatever. But I just rebranded it so it's called Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the
Love that.
tournament. Yeah, so like Phase 2 is like the top cut, Phase 1 is the pools, Redemption is still Redemption, but then like
Damn.
I have the overlays like programmed, so like if it's Phase 2, like the whole thing like switches to like a red theme instead of blue. So it looks like serious. It's like, damn, like this is serious. Like we're red
See,
now.
see, this is why Springfield is fucked. Is because you did shit like that, and so everybody, if people aren't doing shit like that, everybody's like, well, whatever. Like, because everybody's expecting the seven experience, and that's special. Like that's a special. Even me who knew shit about Smash, I showed up and I was like, this nigga doing something different. This dude's doing this shit's
Yeah.
you putting in a lot of effort. That's cool. That's
And
cool as
I'm
hell.
I'm glad that like at least for a short while, probably maybe longer. I don't know the situation, but there's actually no weeklies right now in St. Louis.
Good.
We've been doing all I say we the scene has been doing all monthlies or bi-weeklies, but now they're like all monthlies. Like we have like 5 monthlies. It's like something ridiculous. It's like, bro, like can one of you please?
Relax.
And the worst part, in
Please.
my opinion, it's bad because they're also all on Saturdays pretty much, or like a day like that's a weekend day, and it's like I get like why that should be for a monthly, but if you have a monthly every week on a Saturday, like I don't like this
It's
is
still a
drawing
monthly.
attention away from other tournaments that are like bigger that are on Saturdays and stuff. Like Like no, like imagine if Breach is on the same day again as like a Maryville, then the day after there's like a Marcus, because that's how it works here. There's like a
Yeah.
Saturday and a Sunday monthly on the same weekends. I mean, it was bi-weekly, but now they're monthly. Whatever, whatever. But it's like I don't really like that, and I was like, I want to host a weekly. Like I don't care about a monthly. Like that's
Yeah.
I'm the monthlies. No one's gonna even go to them after this. But no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
I believe it.
um, so I was like, I really want to host a weekly. So I'm glad that it worked out, and I was able to get a venue that the venue is Fusion 413, which is like an esports kind of thing, like Contender.
I can totally okay.
Um, and there's it has the advantages of Contender, but a little bit more. Like it's or 314,
Somebody,
same thing, bro.
yeah, somebody said
Same thing.
314.
Uh, and it's like this. It's like Contender, but it's community funded, which is good because it's in like a community center. And it's like still a good size though. Like a lot of esports things like that are just crammed into like a room with like 8 PCs, but this is like bigger than Contender probably, and it's the Contender Springfield. And I have the advantages of them having a bunch of switches. I have 3 switches myself, so we're already gonna have a ton of setups, which makes doing the round robin pools better. But the owner of Fusion has had like some beef in the past with the scene. Like they tried to do tournaments, and this is like right when I moved here. Like they pretty much stopped doing it. So I'm not entirely. I don't. Well, I know what happened kind of, but I don't have firsthand experience. But
Yeah.
the tournaments just didn't go well. People got mad at them because like a child was running it who they weren't paying enough or something. And there's a lot of bad things. But I was like, I just DM'd them and I was like, yo, like. I'm legit
I'm
though.
7.
Like,
Yeah.
like I can
Get the resume.
repair your I can fix your PR. But
Yeah.
this is I guess PR. You know what I mean? Like not like a Smash PR, but
Yeah.
I was like I can fix your reputation. You get me in there, like because this is the venue. Like this is the best venue on paper. Like if no one was attached to it, this is the best venue we have until Choose Contender is done. So I'm pretty hyped to be hosting there, and they're letting me do almost everything that I want, which is good because like that's just what I want, you know. Just let me loose in this venue. Like I don't need
100%.
and like
100%.
they want to help me more, and I've just been low key. I'm just like nah, like I'll be
I got
doing
it.
it.
I got it. I got
Like
it. I got it. Yeah.
like and I appreciate the offerings for like even more manpower, but I'm like I have this optimized. Like I know I can just do most of this alone. Like I'll let you know if I need stuff, which they've been decently respecting, which is good. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun, and I'm excited to host a weekly. Another thing is like people are like, bro, people in St. Louis, like so many of them they don't know what they're missing out on best of fives every tournament, bro. Like these
They're
people,
not doing best of fives.
we have no. I don't think we have a local that's all best of five, and some of them are like just recently, Slew again was doing best of five, top eight, but for a while they were doing like best of or like top four was best of five.
I remember hearing
Yes,
that.
and
I
it's
was like,
like,
what is this Mickey
bro.
Mouse ass shit,
And I
dude?
think another thing is all the TOs here, for the most part, don't even care about playing Smash that much. Like they just want to host tournaments, so this is from their own mouths. They're just like, I don't really care that it's a best of three. Like I'm just like I don't care about that. I don't play Ultimate, and I'm just like, bro.
Well, and my thing is that like if you don't want to play the game, which is fine, and you don't give a fuck, which is fine, go do something else. Like if you're gonna
I
be,
mean, I agree. Like, if you're not gonna care about the people playing the game, like, why are you gonna care about the tournament? Like,
yeah, like I'm never mad at anybody who doesn't want to play this godforsaken game anymore. Like,
yeah,
absolutely, like take your time, leave, sure, but if you're gonna be here, I will never understand how best of five is just not the stand. Like with this
For
game of
real.
80 plus characters,
Unless
like
like
what are we doing,
I get
dude?
it if it's like a pre-local or like your local pops off and it's like really like, oh, this is way more than like we should have
For
here. We're not gonna have
sure.
the setups. Then that's fine. But like,
But how often are we running into that problem specifically?
agreed.
Like,
And so my goal is to make the weekly for people. I mean, I know it's cool to hate playing Ultimate. Like people are like, oh, I hate
right?
Ultimate, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate
yeah,
it
yeah.
too, but you know, I
Of
also love
course.
it. So like, the
Same.
goal with my tournaments is always like, if you like playing the game, my goal is to have the best tournament for you. And I hope that having this round robin pools phase bracket format, and I have a clause because St. Louis tournaments, like sometimes the weeklies get huge, so if it's 33 entrants or more, it's just going to be all best of 5 double elim, just because
Okay.
we over
You
32
got to get
entrants,
out.
yeah, for a
Yeah.
local round robin it's hard. But if it's
Yeah.
32 or below, I'm pretty confident it'll work just as well as I could do it at contender. um, and
I'm
also
hyped.
another big advantage of Fusion is they're like partnered with one of the local high schools, and they're part of like the MOSEF like tournaments, including like the Smash thing, which if you're not familiar is like the high school esports league in
Oh,
Missouri.
okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
So they're letting all, if your student is like part of MOSEF, like competing in MOSEF, then they get to enter phase with no venue fee. So they'll only have to pay $5, which is good. So that way
Yeah.
we have a steady flow of basically guaranteed
Oh,
attendees that are
tours. Yeah.
younger.
Yeah. Then
And
we can
some of
farm
them
up.
are a little better. Like we have Bubros and Tom and Nodino are all part of MOSEF, but also
Okay.
obviously
Those are
0
very
and
good
2ers.
players.
We'll have a steady stream of 0 and 2ers to keep the attendance up. And if the attendance is looking good, I've been talking to them about introducing kind of like a Smash Pass thing like Contender had, where it's like if we can get like parents or just people like who like going to the weeklies to pay like a monthly fee, then like people aren't gonna, if they have to choose between my weekly and another one and they have the monthly pass, like they're just gonna go. It's just better for everyone. Like
Yeah.
they pay
Yeah.
up front for like, but it's like less money for the tournaments, and we guarantee the tournament has like decent attendees every week.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it goes well, and I mean I'm a little confident because I already have done this like 3 times,
Oh
but
no. Yeah. No.
it is a
Yeah.
new
You're a vet
scene
at
as
this.
well. So like I do have the challenges of like people not caring that it's a round robin or all best of 5. Some people are excited, but a lot of people here don't like round robin, which they just haven't seen the vision. I think a round robin local is better. I can see the argument for a regional, but like locals aren't even about like the upper echelon of competition. Like
Yeah.
it's about getting better and
And
having fun.
playing as many. Yeah. Playing
Yeah.
as many people as you can.
And
Yeah.
I think round robin is pretty much inarguably the best format for practice and if you like playing the game, having fun. So that's my
Being able to
take,
go to
though.
a
That's my
local,
take.
being able to go to a local and play like 7 people like in one day is like, hold on, I'm gonna pull up my Smashers app because the last tournament, the last contender that you ran, um I made top cut, and I remember having being able to play I think like 6 or 7 times. It was a lot of times events. Hold on, where
Yeah,
was
I
that?
mean,
I was
for a
gonna look up.
local, like, I think it just makes sense. Like, and if you play the same person, it doesn't even matter as much because it's like, it's round robin, bro. You get 5 other sets and you're mad you're playing the same guy you played last week. Like, people don't get, once they realize that, people don't even get mad about that anymore, which they shouldn't because it's like, yeah, I mean, you get your run back and you get to play more people,
This was peak. It was a 31 entrant, and I played 7 people. 7. I got to play 7
which
people
is hype.
in one tournament, dude.
And like,
You, Dry, Awesome Evie, Jibberiah, Spear, OG, and Shad all in one tournament. Like, That's
It's just so
shit.
fun. It's so
I miss
fun.
that
You
shit
get a
so much,
There
dude.
are like people in local scenes who almost never play, especially lower level players, because if you
Yeah.
think lower level players only play 2 sets of bracket or 3,
Yes.
and so like
Yes.
there are other people who are actually their skill level that they will almost never play because they're only playing
Yeah.
2 sets in a tournament. But in
Yep.
round robin that doesn't happen. You get to play people who are the same level as you more often. I think it just makes more sense. But I know people are against round robin, but honestly I think it's propaganda, and I think if they're against it, it's mainly at the regional level where it might have scheduling issues,
Yeah.
or things like that, where like a bracket is on paper more competitive and it has a storyline, which I think is valid. But at a local, I think you can use. I think round robin is just it, bro. I got to get other people to see the light. I'm hoping to like.
Yes.
We already have people like AK and Tim Prater. Like obviously the good players are gonna go anyway because they want to play.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they can kind of see like, oh, like this is pretty fun actually. Like I like it. Um,
Yeah.
and we can spread the good word. And because we have so many setups and whatnot, I think it allows us to do the format much easier. Like if we were in like Sunshine Lanes and everyone had to bring their own setup, it's a little harder
Yeah.
because like you have to bring so many setups. But between me and Fusion, we have like 8 setups together. Like, and that's
Well,
without
well, and,
people bringing them.
well, and when you said like your tournament, when you were like, "Oh yeah, it's happening in January," I was like, "Oh, I'll go." And then once I found out it was best of 5, I was like, "Oh no, like oh now I'll definitely go." I was gonna
Yeah.
go regardless, but like knowing that I'm gonna go there and like
Yeah.
play
Like
sets,
you
like
will either get a round robin pool or all best of 5. And even if it's all best
yeah,
of 5, probably a redemption bracket too. So,
yeah. So it's like there's more than enough to play. Hoping to move somewhere in case he's still not looking too hot. Oh, okay, damn. Madeira is still here. I didn't know he was still here. He's planning on moving. Um,
yeah, I've talked to him
Madeira.
about that. Bro, it'd be so hype. It'd be so hype if he makes it to St. Louis though.
That'd be raw. It'd be hella raw. Madeira, you doing anything Tuesday? Send me a DM if you're not. Don't tell people because it's a secret. What I'm gonna tell you.
Um
Um. So
Another.
let me ask.
Oh, no, you go. You go.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's the deal? So I don't know much about points in the Midwest, but from what I'm seeing, we don't got a lot of points, and I'm confused as to how any of that shit works. Do you know how any of that shit works?
Yeah. So, uh basically what Lumi Rank did this time with the points is
Yeah.
that they distributed them based on the power rankings that had come out. So, for example, Springfield, Spencer, and Budabam are worth points, because they were number
Not
1 and
Miles?
2. Miles wasn't on the
Oh,
PR.
Miles.
See, you're
Okay, yeah.
already seeing issues, which I'm going to get
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Um, and now, I mean, it's fundamentally flawed in the way. So, St. Louis is in, I can't even remember the region's name, but Springfield is in the Heartland South, I think it's called, which is like Springfield, Oklahoma, Arkansas tournaments. Like a little bit of an adjustment, but that like corner of like the 4-state area right there is a different region from STL, and KC and stuff like that. But basically, they gave points based on the PR, and one issue with this is now MD is not worth points, which we don't
Rough if
know
you
if
don't have a fucking
MD.
PR.
We don't know if Miles is coming back. We don't. That's valid.
Yeah.
But I mean, last Lumi rank season, Miles beat like this was within the season. They didn't earn points. They were beating people like Hayden, Melee multiple times, like really good players like that,
Yeah.
Toffee, etc. But they're still not worth points because they didn't qualify for the last Springfield PR, which, as we know, has its issues. And this is
Oh,
the
that's
the
so
issue gets even worse
rough.
when you look at St. Louis, which instead of top 2 players, only the top 1 player was given points,
Which is always gonna is usually AK if
which
he
is usually
competes, right?
AK, except Yeti was in our region, who's moving back now to Minnesota, where he won't be able to compete anymore. Um, and is number one on our PR and is worth the points. So that now that Yeti is gone, St. Louis would theoretically have no players worth points, except until today, because AK got high enough at Afterburner, he's now worth 30 points because he made points through that. But
Yeah,
before
he beat Onan
today,
and shit.
and if he didn't go to that tournament, that means no one in St. Louis, which includes AK, Tim Prater, etc., would be worth any points. Yet Springfield has Budabam and Indecisive worth 30. St. Louis would have none. And I mean, that's just the whole issue. And it's worse in the Midwest specifically because, I mean, obviously our tournaments never get the respect of big tournaments on the coast. And they've been trying to fix this, yeah. So you can see Basic said Buddha isn't worth points starting like last night. So they're trying to, now they're like, oh wait, this is why this doesn't make sense, so we're gonna try and fix it. But they haven't.
And so Basic saying that isn't worth points as of last night. Are they like retroactively changing who
Yes.
is worth what points?
Well, they realized that this was bad, so they're now going in and changing who's worth points in Missouri and other regions having issues.
Oh fuck.
So
fuck.
now only Spencer is worth points, which he definitely should be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I think they might give another player to STL. I think they're changing us to 2, but I'm not sure. And this matters because because this system is now in place, people care so much about the tiering of a tournament. And it basically evaluates the tournament's quality on the players going, which not only is it harder for our region because we don't have as many top players, and our top players rarely go to events. Like, Onan hasn't been to that many tournaments, and they're one who goes to like a good amount of them compared to some.
Yeah.
Like, we had people at some time like Cosmos living in Ohio, etc. Like, they just weren't going to tournaments locally. But on the coast, everyone, and it's the same, like, people say this is an issue with Japan, true, which it also is a bit, but they are obviously better right now either way. But it's like on the coast, like, all these people play each other which makes the tournaments worth more points, which makes the players worth more points. And the Midwest is so far away from both of those. Like, now that we have this label on tournament tiers, like, Cola and Sonics going to Indiana was like a huge deal, which I know Cola couldn't make it because his flight or whatever.
Good. I got
But
fucked
like,
up, yeah.
this is a huge deal because it's like, when was the last time this happened within one state of us? Like, I don't even know. Like Riptide is probably the best example, and that's just because it's a fire tournament venue and stuff. Like, they didn't benefit from the tiering because the tournament was already good. But the tournament basically just hurts the regions where, like, people aren't always playing worth points to, like, increase their own points. You know, it's like a positive feedback loop. And we don't have that, so we have to try and get these people out here, and that's what determines the event. But if the event spends all its money on getting people out there, cough, cough, Diamond Dust, as an example, which people got really mad at me because I was like, oh, why does the stream look so bad? But they can spend like hundreds, like thousands, literally thousands on flying players out. Just like you can't base a tournament on how good it is based on who's going. Like, the tournament should be good enough based on, you know, like, you could argue like spectating it is better if there's higher level players, which is true, but also like the people who are going in person, like, who actually matter for like the tiering of the event, they could have a worse experience, or the tournament could be bad just because you're evaluating the tournament's worth on if Sonics decides to spend $600 and fly out randomly. Versus like just being like, these are the best players in our region, like, it should be worth a lot. Like, and if they want to compete for the points, then they should come and beat the best players in our region, which they don't do because it's not worth their time because of Lumi rank.
Yeah.
That's my rant, at least.
That's rough, and I legitimately have no idea what the solve is.
Yeah, I agree. And they have things that are supposed to be helpful, like the Heartland South region tournaments are worth ×3 points, which is why like Fighting Ghost and LGS are always C tiers or above.
Well, and we didn't even mention how like Japan, obviously the best region, regardless on their like how easy it is to travel within each other, but like because it's so easy for everyone to travel like and compete against each other in the best region with the biggest like with the most points, and they can have a fucking like S tier like in any other given weekend.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking rough.
I really liked the system with Smash World Tour and Bless Its Heart, the Panda Cup.
No, dude.
Because
that shit's so
they saw tournaments and they're like, I think this is how big it could get. Let's call this a national. And then they scattered them literally across the world. And it's like, you had MK Leo going to like places. There was this one event, I think it was with Kept. It was like in Korea or China maybe. That was worth points. And like, I think MK Leo went to that. And some other players, and it's like that doesn't happen now. Like if like the cups and like the Smash World Tour, it not only could any tournament opt in, but they also, like I said, they designated things. It's like if you want to get these points, then let's say you have to go to Gateway Legends in Missouri. This is just theoretical. Obviously, it was after Smash World Tour, but Smash World Tour was like, yeah, like this is like counted as a national. And we like are confident in the team running it. So then people from the coast would actually go because it's like, this is how I can earn points. But if you're tiering the events based on who's going to go, then like why would they ever come here and even try to prove that they're better? Which obviously, you know, the coast are probably better. But it's not like the Midwest is full of like way lower level players.
No, of course.
Like, but we'll never see that. Like we will almost never see people like Cola like trying to come out here. And Cola and Sonic's like the tippy top of players, like other than our singular event, which is Riptide. Like when was the last time someone like a top 30 player even came to like a Heartland Midwest event? Like Ohio, sometimes they get stuff, which is where Riptide is, but also that's 12 hours away from us, from Missouri. That's literally a 12-hour drive. Like, you can count that as the Midwest if you want, but, like, let's be real. Like, when was the last time someone in the actual Heartland, like, Midwest, or a tournament in the Midwest had people like that come out?
Saturday Stadium 4. It bums me out because I actually totally forgot about the Panda Cup and Smash World Tour.
Yeah.
That's when I started competing. It was, like, right when that started happening. And losing that was, like, some of the saddest shit. Like Ray Z, my coach at the time, qualified for Smash World Tour, and I think the Smash World Tour thing was, I think it was going to happen in Texas. I think the final tournament was going to happen somewhere in Texas. So I was going to have him fly out and stay with me. Because it would be his first time in the States, and there was like so much cool shit happening around
for real
the Panda Cup, and
like I went to Smash World Tour, man. Like the championships, like the final. It was a great major. It wasn't a real major because it was so condensed because it was supposed to just be like the top 128 or whatever with an open bracket. Yeah. But I liked that more. It was like it was like a regional vibe, but like with the players of like a major. And there was like, they had a 24-hour venue. I played for like 3 hours against this Game & Watch who was #1 in Chile. And I mean, he touched kids, so he's gone now. But I did play against him for like multiple hours, and I was like, just think about that. Like, whenever these people won Smash World Tour and they got invited, like, he's from Chile, bro, and he made it. Like, these people were coming out for Smash World Tour because that's what it provided, right?
Nobody's paying attention to the rest of the shit that you're saying, including me, dude.
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm trying to lock into what you're saying. It's a good speech, but I'm thinking about you playing with that kid, Diddler.
I'm sorry. uh, and like I got to play, and I was like, dang, like low key, I'd be pretty good in Chile. I'm doing pretty good against this guy if he's number one. But like that's just not gonna happen now. And not only that,
That bums me the fuck out.
I think Brazil has had like, or South America as a whole, like think about their majors. It's crickets, bro. Like you're hearing
Yeah.
chirps. They got nothing, and the only reason they have nothing is because of Lumi rank, because they have big events with the best players in the region traveling across South America to go to, because I've seen them, but we don't even know about that. And the one time someone was gonna go, Fatality was gonna go to Brazil. I know about this tournament because the lead developer of Tournament Stream Helper, used to live in South America, and he was doing a big thing with this tournament, helping them like set up their stream and whatnot. So I was invested in it. I was like, oh, dude, like this is gonna be so fire. Like I don't know any of these players, and Fatality was gonna fly to Brazil and compete in this, which is gonna be like a Lumi rank B tier or an A tier, something like that. I was like, this is crazy. Like the first South American like national or whatever. And then sadly, this was actually so tragic, but Fatality got COVID like 2 days before he was supposed to fly away, and this was a few years ago too. Like obviously you couldn't go now, but like it was even worse back then. Like that's just no
Yeah.
shot it's happening. Which lowered them. Well, I don't actually know for sure if it lowered the tier of their event, but I'm pretty sure it did. So they got screwed over by that even more, and I was looking so forward to seeing like a really good US player, and Fatality's not even a top player. Like I would have loved to see Light go or something like that. But like even seeing someone like Fatality of that level go and get to play against, because like he's probably one of the best players in South America if he lived there. Like I wanted to see that, and this is what Lumi Rank took from us. Like we don't even know about their tournaments going on down there, and they do have a scene because I've seen it, and it's like that to a lesser extent in places like Europe. And then even like the U.S. is affected compared to places like Japan. So like imagine how much worse it gets as you like go down to like the less developed regions.
And so, well, first of all, this just bums me the fuck out. And then the second part is that from a person who is not privy to like rankings and is like pretty new to all of this, when I was watching all of this, it felt like, okay, cool. So Panda's out and the Smash World Tour is out. There's obviously like a vacuum in terms of like ranking and getting like some consistency, but like Luminosity came in and provided that, which in my brain was like, oh cool, this is great because like we need a centralized place, we need like some consistency, we need rankings and stuff like that. Is that not the like the overall consensus that like they're doing a good job or they're doing it like to the best of their abilities? Is it really that there is a way to do this a lot better than they're currently doing it?
I think if the question is would the Smash scene be better without Lumi ranked tiered events? I think the answer is probably no. It would be worse,
Yeah.
but I'm just not a huge fan of what Lumi rank rewards.
Yeah.
And there obviously needs to be some kind of big ranking. In my opinion, there shouldn't even be a global ranking, like a more official one. I think it should just be per country or something. Like even if it's per continent, I think that would be fine. Like top players in like North America or whatever, top players in Asia and Europe, whatever. I think that would be the best way to do it. But also, I think maybe there's I don't know if this would solve it, but it would be nice if there was some more incentive for the people playing in like these good regions to go to
Yeah.
other regions.
Yeah.
Um, which I think Lumi Rank doesn't really reward that. Like it doesn't reward people leaving if they live in a region that already is going to have a lot of points, which already has a lot of points because they're there. Um,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's kind of a compounding, like I mean, it just the more proximity you are to the points in Lumi rank, the less incentive you have to go somewhere else.
This
which I
this
think is
bums
a
me the
problem.
this bums me the fuck out because I didn't understand because again I didn't know anything about tournaments that like how it was structured is every tournament had like were like had like not every tournament but like specific tournaments were stopping points on the Smash World Tour, so everybody
Yeah.
was like congregating to those tournaments because it's part of the World Tour. Like
Yeah, and that's how
that's
it was with
super
Panda Cup
cool.
too. Was like obviously we never
Yeah,
got to see the championships of Panda Cup, but like a
yeah.
tournament could reach out, and if it was big enough, they could opt into Panda Cup. And we've seen afterwards, like actually last year, I think it was leaked, like the presentation like Panda Cup would send you about like what you had to do for your event and whatnot. And like if you opted in, they would put you on their Panda Cup like map, like their tour or whatever, at like a different level, like a tier or whatever. And that would just like before anyone signed up, Panda Cup was basically like this is a Panda approved event. We think it's gonna be good, like from what we know, like we're confident in it. So people should just go to this. And if you go, it also opts into the Panda Cup, so you'll get points towards the cup, which you can play in the final tournament for the huge cash prize, which was every top player's goal. So like again, like it would be worth it if Light came to the Midwest for something besides Rewired for a $10,000 pot bonus. Um, but
All right, man. I don't want to talk anymore. I don't got nothing to say.
yeah,
This bums me the fuck out.
I mean we can move to a new topic now. I feel like we've ranted enough about that. Last topic of the night, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. We're running on an hour. Yeah. Do you have a the Lumi Wink points was mine. Wait, didn't you mention there was something that you mentioned earlier when we were talking about the first thing we were talking about? Do you
State of
have any? Yeah.
Springfield.
No, it was during that you had a thought. Oh, we were talking about the current state of Smash, but that's a longer one.
Yeah, that feels like a whole
Um,
episode, honestly.
is your yeah is your next tournament Zoom like your next big one?
Yep, I'm gonna be streaming the zoo, doing the
Oh
production
yeah,
there, so I'll be there.
oh yeah.
Faux show. Um,
I'll be there too. I'm sure I know Isaiah and the rest. Did y'all talk about Afterburner? Oh no, yeah, that's perfect. Let's talk
yeah,
about
we
Afterburner.
can we can talk about that a bit.
Um Isaiah, Demi and Isaiah both did pretty well. Demi beat this first person. It was game five. They were seated pretty close together. And then the next person that he had to fight, that person got further in bracket because somebody had DQ'd on the Ricazio player, so Demi just 3-0'd the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't close. I didn't talk to him about it, but I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, no, Demi's gonna fuck you up. And then he fought Duck 190. It was a Diddy Kong player.
Played that
And he got
guy before. He's pretty good.
okay. Well, he 3-0'd Demi. Oh, he ended up getting 25th. Damn, yeah. So he did pretty well. And then Chef Mo, this motherfucker's name is Chef Moardi instead of Chef Boyardee, a Fox player. He ended up getting 49th, and he 3-0'd him. And so Demi was seated 111th and got 65th. I imagine he's not too happy about that. I'm sure he wanted to go a little further. Um, and then Isaiah 3-0'd ZZ, 3-0'd Stitch. Game five, Sir Dank was an upset factor of 2. I watched that set. That was really good, and it was super competitive. And then Isaiah got Bell in hand and um, cooked him. And then doorstop, Isaiah definitely could have fucking won that set. Game four was really close. He went 3-1, but Isaiah 100% could have won that set. And then he had to fight Gok and my Rari, the fucking duck hunt main, and he lost 3-1. Um, yeah, that tournament was good. Fucking AK was doing some cool shit. He beat Onin.
Fire. Shout out to
He
AK
did
for
this.
making St. Louis worth points again today.
Shout out to that go AK. He did this thing where he B reversed. He jumped B reversed, dropping C4. He short hopped it and was still able to back air and killed Onin. I didn't know there was enough. I didn't know you could do that. So he like jumped, B reversed, dropped the C4, And as he was dropping the C4 back aired and killed Onan at like fucking 90 or so. Yeah, Apollo Kage did really well.
I
Dark
was,
Rizzi ended up making
I know he
top 8.
was. If I were him, at least, I don't want to project here. If I were him, I would be happy, but also, bro, losing 2 Game 5 last hits.
Yeah,
So close,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. He
Especially against
really could have
Sonic.
made it. Yeah, oh, dude. And it felt like everything was making it so that he was supposed to win that set.
Yes.
Like Sonic
Yes.
fucking doing the homing attack and dying at like 0. I'm like, yo, come on, dude. Like, they want you to win this so bad. And he made it so competitive.
Yes.
That would have been such a huge
Dude,
fucking
and
win.
what Basic just said, where he did the up tilt, he up tilted Mudace last hit, but then Mudace grabbed, and the grab hit him. Like, it had to be, like, within, like, 3 frames of the up tilt hitbox coming out. Because I saw the leg going up. And that is not a slow move. That is not a slow move.
Mudace the go. Mudace the go.
I know you're... dude, I knew you were cheering for Mudace that whole time.
Oh, yeah. Mudace liked the video edit I made from his run. So, yeah. Shout out to boy Mute. I'm a huge Mute fan. But I did want AK to win. He beat Onan, which is a really good win.
Yeah.
I wanted him to beat Sonic so fucking bad.
Same,
when he
dude.
did that forward smash and killed him at like 20,
oh my God.
I was like,
my soul.
I
was like, this is it, bro. He's got it.
I was driving, so I was driving to the gym, like listening to the tournament, and this shit, I literally pulled over to a fucking Wendy's to watch the rest of it. I was like, oh, this shit, he's gonna fucking do it. He was so close. He definitely got it. I mean, fighting Sonic.
Do you know like the car phone projection method of how to watch stuff while you drive at night?
No.
Let me let you in.
Night is even worse.
Well, it only works at night. It only works at night. What you do,
that's so fucking bad.
You shove your phone on your dash in a spot where it won't move, and you flip it over, like you mirror it, and then you turn the brightness all the way up, and it shines. This actually works. Like, this sounds like crazy, but I mean, I've not done it. But anyway, you turn the brightness all the way up, and it shines up onto your windshield, and basically you can see the reflection because it's night and you have the brightness up. It's bright enough that you can see the reflection. Like, it's like having a HUD in real life, like having the mini player.
Please don't do this.
It's like having the mini player on your windshield, and it is mirrored still. Even if you flip it upside down correctly, it'll still be mirrored because it's reflecting. But you can see, and if you take it a step farther, you can actually get an app, on Android at least, that mirrors your whole screen. So then when it reflects off the windshield, it just looks normal.
Alternatively, play some fucking music. Like, just play music.
See, in my car, it fits really well because, like, you know how where it shows the speedometer, there's, like, always a hump?
Yeah.
Mine has, like, a little ledge, so I can really jam my phone and have it, like, directly in front of me. And I've done it with my tablet before, too, so the whole carpool can watch. And it's, like, right in front of me. And I can just either choose to focus my eyes on the road or focus, like, closer on the windshield.
On that note, nobody fucking do that. Please, for the love of God. At night, that's fucking terrifying.
Well, yeah, it only works at night.
That's fucked. That's so fucked. I've got this super cool strap, but you can only use it in the most dangerous of circumstances.
Also,
yeah, Sonic's won. I didn't give a fuck about that.
Also, shout out to Scrubbed Out, the TO of Afterburner. He's pretty fire. I like the venue a lot. What's up?
They had a car in there. They had like a car in there too.
Yeah, so the venue, this makes the name cooler too. The venue is at like a car museum that's in like an old aircraft hangar. Like a legit huge aircraft hangar. Like one of those like just like circular ones, like tubular.
Yeah.
and they just have like random nice cars because it's just in the museum, which is just a flat open space with a bunch of cars parked in it. So they just have these crazy cars just scattered throughout, and they drove one of them up on the stage, which was awesome. And I loved how they did
That's fucking cool.
the post game interview with
In
Sonics
the
in the
car.
car. It would
That's
have been
cool as
cool if
shit.
he like it was a manual, he like put it into drive and like floored it and just like did like he was burning rubber, and then him and Sonics just like drove off into the night. That's what I wanted, but
Yeah.
that's what
And
would have
then
happened at a
Afterburner
7
too.
event. But you know, you gotta have some limits. So I also
um,
liked some of the production because they didn't have this on the mainstream, but they had a genius thing that I'm gonna copy on the side stream, which is they had the face tracking cameras. You know those weird webcams or
yeah.
like cameras that have the arm that they're on and they can like move. They had that on the side stream. So like if the players' faces were just like always in the middle, which was pretty cool
Oh,
because
that is raw.
normally you have to go out and like adjust the cameras. That's what they do in majors. And that's because they're real cameras with like way higher quality. But I'm gonna get me some face tracking like PTZ cameras because that was genius. Since I like running my stuff like as autonomously as possible.
No, that's fucking raw. That's raw. That's super cool. Also, everyone go to Underground Smash number 5. There might be some people that you like there. No confirmations, but there might be some cool.
I'll probably
There
go
might
as
be
long as
some.
Demi doesn't.
Yeah, Demi's not going. I asked him
That
today. He won't go.
I'm leaning towards going then. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I might go.
I got a question for the chat for Hampter.
Is Hampton here?
Yeah,
Hamter's here.
Hampter,
Drew,
how do you think a set between us if I go Kazuya would go? I can't decide in my head.
you don't go Roy? I thought you usually go Roy
I
during
go
the WoW
Roy,
matchup.
but that's why I'm asking. Like, if I went Kazuya, does he think like how confident is he in that? I think low key, I think I might still win, but I think it would be harder than with Roy, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I haven't played it.
sometimes Kazuya just steamrolls, like it just wins. So I don't really know.
Kazuya and a billion matchups. But I think you're like better than the Kazuyas I've beaten at the fighting the character. I'm gonna play like a bitch. You gotta.
Interesting. Yeah, you gotta.
I will say, Mr. Hampter, I don't know you at all. We've never had a single conversation, but you beat Spencer, and ever since you did, I've respected you from afar. And that's it. That's
You
all I
got a
got.
distant admirer. That's so. You gonna send him a letter?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, that was good. Shout out to 7K, still going strong.
7K.
7K boy. And
No,
then
you gotta do
yeah.
7. Like 4 on one hand, 3 on the other.
Oh, that's wrong.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, let's fucking go 7K. Yeah. So this was great. We'll meet again next week. It'll likely be the whole gang. Maybe me and Seven will be at Underground. We'll see. Go to Underground though. There are good people running that tournament, and it was a good tournament last year.
Yep.
Uh,
Last
yep.
year.
All right. Shit, it really has been that long. All right, everyone. Bye. Bye.